Hey, welcome to iGuide Movies. I'm Timothy Guy.
I'm Stephanie Holland.
We've got a big week. It's the post-Thanksgiving spectacular. We're not talking about Black Friday. We're talking about Super Friday.
Right. Some of these movies actually come out on Wednesday, and then, of course, yes, some of them come out on Friday.
But since we show up on Friday, it's Friday, so deal with it.
Okay.
So the first one we're going to talk about is a big movie. It's a big kids movie. It's Rise of the Guardians.
Every year, there's always a big family movie that opens Thanksgiving weekend, and this year, it's Rise of the Guardians, which looks like so much fun. What happens is there's an evil entity trying to take over, and Santa, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, the Sandman all have to team up with Jack Frost
to stop it.
Jack Frost is like a loner.
Yeah.
You know.
Great cast. You got Chris Pine, Alec Baldwin, Hugh Jackman's in it.
Yeah. Strong voice cast.
Isla Fisher.
Yeah.
She's in it too.
It's a
so
really strong voice
great cast. Alec Baldwin plays Santa.
Yeah.
Who has tats on his arms that say naughty or nice, which is kind of creepy.
Good. It's a strong voice cast, good looking animation. Even though Twilight and Skyfall are still out there making tons of money, this will be a big opening.
Yeah, I still like Wreck-It Ralph better, so.
But family movies traditionally own this weekend.
Yeah, they do very well. Let's go to the second movie, which is another visually stunning movie, which is Life of Pi, which is Ang Lee's new movie.
Yeah, it's I'm sort of on the fence about this movie, but Ang Lee has never steered me wrong. So
even that Civil War movie he did.
You know,
the Tobey Maguire one?
Yeah. Okay, Ang Lee has never steered me wrong except for that one movie. Yeah. But even that movie was visually beautiful.
Yeah. It's about a kid whose family owns a zoo and they're moving it across, you know, an ocean. The kid has to escape in a life raft, but there's a tiger in the life raft too. And then him and the tiger have to learn to get along to survive.
It's based on a very popular book. It's a visually beautifully shot movie.
The colors alone. If you look at any of the photos, we have a gallery online at iGuide. You can look at them there. The colors are just fantastic.
It's stunning. But it is sort of an artsy film that it's not straightforward storytelling style. But again, Ang Lee.
Yeah. I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but it really reminds me of like Tar Seams, like The Cell and, you know, movies like that.
Exactly.
So I like how Ang Lee is bringing sort of a professionalism to that.
Sure.
We got to talk about this movie. I know you don't want to. Just if you want, you can just go in the corner for a few minutes and just sit.
All right.
The reimagining of Red Dawn is upon us.
Here's the thing about this movie. They made this, what, like 4 years?
3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago, this movie was made. Then MGM went bankrupt. And so they've been trying to figure out who was going to distribute it, who got the rights. And so this movie's just been in Hollywood limbo. In the meantime, most of the stars have become actual big stars. When they shot this, they were all a bunch of Hollywood unknowns. In case you're wondering, Red Dawn, it's based on the 80s sort of cult classic that had, you know, Patrick Swayze and Rob Lowe and Jennifer Grey in it. And in that one, it was still the Cold War. So it was a group of Russia and Cuba had invaded the U.S. And this time, at first, it was China.
Yes.
But then they figured out if you want to sell movies in China, you can't make China look bad. So now it's North Korea through the power of computers.
Yeah, because they don't watch movies, so who cares?
So the U.S. is invaded by a group that's like North Korea with some Middle East allies, and these teenagers fight back in their little small hometown.
As Vanessa would say, Wolverine.
Because that's what that's their high school mascot, and it's sort of their rallying cry. But Chris Hemsworth, Josh Hutcherson,
Josh Peck,
Adrian Palicki,
Connor Cruise,
Tom Cruise's son. Yeah, and
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays the guy, the adult, the pilot who's with them. So it's a really strong cast.
It's not going to make any money. It's going to bomb, blah, blah, blah. It's the rating on Rotten Tomatoes in the toilet. Who cares? Okay, next movie.
Yeah,
So we're going to the opposite side of the spectrum. This movie has a great rating, great actors, great director.
Tim will not stop talking about this. He's been talking about this movie. He won't stop talking about it.
It's Silver Linings Playbook, which is the new Bradley Cooper movie. He stars as a former teacher, sort of has a mental breakdown, as you could see, because he's wearing a chain. And he goes back to live with his parents because he's trying to rebuild his life. He meets Jennifer Lawrence, who's also sort of troubled. She lost her husband and together they find a way to move on. And it also stars Jackie Weaver, who was in sorry. So Jackie Weaver's in it, Robert De Niro's in it, and surprisingly, of all people, Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker hasn't made a movie since Rush Hour 3, and this is his return to the screen. Here's the thing, though. He made so much money off those Rush Hour movies, he doesn't need to work, so he just doesn't.
And they said it's a really small part, and they said he could have been in it more. David O. Russell directs it. He's the one who did The Fighter and I Heart Huckabees, and is also known for being choked out by George Clooney in Three Kings.
Interesting fact, Mark Wahlberg really wanted the part in this movie, and he was going to give it to Mark Wahlberg, but then he gave it to Bradley Cooper instead, and so now him and Mark Wahlberg, who were the best of friends, have fallen out.
Well, they're saying Bradley Cooper he can get an Oscar nomination for this, so let's see.
I'm sure that'll make me very happy.
Oh, I love Bradley Cooper. So, bottom line, I'm just going to ask you, what is, out of these 4 movies, what do you think is going to be the people should go see?
Well, Rise of the Guardian seems to be the safe choice, especially if you have the whole family together. That's going to be the box office champ, unless Twilight might hang on, but I mean, who knows? I would say maybe take a chance with Life of Pi, though.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next week. We're going to go into a few weeks of winter doldrums.
Before the Oscar movies come out and we can start talking about those.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week, maybe.